Man United acquisition and 6 questions waiting to be answered. Man United is receiving offers from wealthy investors from Qatar. And there are 6 questions that need to be answered in this deal. Number 1. Glazer home really want to sell? Potential investors say an offer in excess of £5 billion will be accepted, but the final price will become clearer this month as it will determine exactly who is bidding. The participation of a sovereign wealth fund in the Middle East, for example, would have a significant impact on the ceiling for a deal. Some investors are looking to push back that price, pointing out that Chelsea were sold last summer for £2.5 billion. However, many believe a price tag of more than £5 billion is achievable. Brothers Joel and Avram Glazers are the main responsibilities at Man United, but the sale will have to be agreed to by all of their siblings, who have a stake in the club. And there have been notable differences of opinion within this family. A top possible price is needed to reduce any chance of a dispute over whether to vote through the deal. Number 2. What investors want to buy? US bidders, including some who asked to buy Chelsea, and a mysterious Arab investment group are seen as leading the way. Candidates in the US, the Middle East and even Asia have also privately expressed interest. Investors from the UAE were excluded because they owned Man City. Therefore, there are only contractors from Qatar and Saudi Arabia. In fact, both of these investors own their own clubs, PSG and Newcastle. However, Qatar still wants a big club in the Premier League, and it will be easier for them to buy Mu when Saudi Arabia already owns a team of this tournament. Number 3. Qatar can own 2 different clubs. When the news that Qatar owners wanted to acquire Mu appeared, many fans and experts were worried because PSG is also owned by the investment fund Qatar Sports Investments, QSI. According to UEFA regulations, an organization cannot hold 2 clubs in the same tournament while Mu and PSG regularly participate in the Champions League. However, this concern was quickly removed when the owners wanting to buy Man United were described as completely separate from QSI. Investment money for the Old Trafford club will also come from a personal fund. Number 4. What are the mothers? Much of the Chelsea buying craze took place in the US last spring, and interest in investing in the Premier League is still hot in the country. Reportedly, there have been new approaches from the teams that lost to Todd Bailey and Clearlake in the race to buy Chelsea last year. However, the Ricketts family will not be among those bidding for Man United. Telegraph Sport claims that several US corporations have given their own assurances that they will bid. However, with commitments to secrecy as part of the bidding process, few are willing to name names. Number 5. Is Ratcliffe the number 1 candidate? British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who owns petrochemical giant Ineos, first announced that he had joined the process within an hour of formal negotiations with traders. Like other stakeholders, he has now signed forms pledging confidentiality under a non-disclosure agreement. Ratcliffe is among many others who have reached that preliminary stage, and he is the least politically inclined contractor to have ever revealed that he has loved Mu since childhood. Ratcliffe has amassed a personal fortune of £6.33 billion, but United will not be sure if he is ready to meet the Glazers' asking price, after initially turning down offers negotiations with Chelsea last year. Number 6. When can the take-up? Senior figures have pushed interested parties to make formal offers in mid-February, and next weekend is seen as an ideal date. This period allows the club to comply with its guidelines to complete the deal before the end of the current season. With that in mind, different prices depending on Champions League qualification can be taken into account. Official bids will be made for total redemptions as well as minority shares. New York-based investment bank Rain Group remains the intermediary for interested parties. There still appears to be some flexibility on the deadline, but the club aim to complete the deal in the first quarter or by the end of April.